I wish that over a decade ago someone had told me that running a business was going to be about more than just doing nails. When I first graduated, I was quite spoiled. I had several flatmates and they all had many friends, and I used this wide group of people as models throughout my course. I was confident and knowledgeable, or so I thought, and this resonated with people, meaning many of them came back as paying clients. I wasn't naive in that I did know that I was going to have to actually put some effort into getting clients at some point, and I had a few ideas on how to do it, but it wasn't until I went full-time 4 years later that finding clients became more than a hobby. It became my full-time job. Whether you plan on doing nails for 3 hours a week or 40, you need to have that time set aside from the beginning. We get students telling us all the time that they've not had time to practice what they learnt in class. Now, this makes sense if you're doing your modules on consecutive weekends, but if you've chosen to spread your modules out a bit further and you still don't have time to practice, when were you going to have time to see clients? When you decide to become a nail tech, decide on your working hours, and if you don't have clients, spend that time researching, practicing, building connections, and promoting yourself. My first ever trainee told her kids that doing nails was her retirement plan. She did the course, bought all the things, had the enthusiasm, and a few short months later, she had given up because she had no clients. Her passion for doing nails had not translated into a passion for promoting nails. Imagine if a baker spent 8 hours a day baking cupcakes and then went home. He would make no money because those cupcakes would all still be in the kitchen. When you work out how much to charge for your services, factor in that price covering a couple of hours a day to work on the business, not just in it. Alright, so if this all sounds a little bit daunting, don't worry, because while I wish someone had told me this all before I became a nail tech, you already know. What I want to do now is get you started on your way. Facebook is the world's largest social media platform and the most highly targeted marketing system in the world. What does that mean? It means that if you have a billboard, you can only control who sees it by putting it in a desired area. If you have a notice in a school newsletter, you can only define its audience by men, women, and students involved with this particular school. On Facebook, you could target husbands of women who live in your area, have disposable income, and a birthday coming up within 30 days, and then show them an ad that says, "Treat your wife on her birthday by pampering her at Susie's Nail Salon." Your shopfront on Facebook is your page. It's what entices people in and gets them to explore what you do. 4 of my very brave students have volunteered their pages to be constructively critiqued today for your learning pleasure. Let's have a look. Alright, so the first thing to take into account when you're looking at your Facebook page and what you want to present is an overall feeling. So people respond to feelings, not to sales. Like, people are not on Facebook to buy things. You never go on Facebook to look for something to buy. You go on Facebook to socialize, to procrastinate, to pass time, to catch up with your friends and see what they're up to. You never go on Facebook to buy things. So for you as a person trying to sell things, you kind of have to take that into account and consider that people need to experience a feeling for them to really resonate with your brand. So if you want to capture attention, instead of focusing on sales, focus on creating an experience on your page. And I think of all the girls that volunteered their pages for this video, Jess has done the best job. So see how her profile picture up here is really professional. It's very soft, it's very feminine. It tells us exactly who she is. It really spells that out. And some people might look at that and think, oh no, I'm not really that sort of super feminine, soft, like frilly girl. That the brand might not resonate with them. However, someone else might look at it and be a super soft, frilly, feminine girl with a really feminine personality who that just looks adorable to. I really love it. I know a couple of people, like if I think about my friends, and if you do this too, I know a couple of people who 100% would see this and just die, but I know a couple of other people too who would see it and completely just keep scrolling. That's a really good thing because it means that Jess is going to attract customers who really resonate with her brand before they even step in the door. The other thing that's really impressive about Jess's page on First Impression is the fact that her profile photo and her cover photo go hand in hand. They're the same exact flowers, like they're literally identical. You don't have to go that far, but the same color scheme or the same font or just trying to get the same feeling. So if I show you my one, my current cover photo is soft, feminine. It's a photo from the wedding of one of my clients that she gave to me. And my profile photo is also sort of light and airy. My previous cover photo was actually better suited, to be honest. So this cover photo previously sat next to it, and because it has the exact same font and the same sort of light and airy feeling, you can kind of see my profile picture up here, but it has the same font, so that carries across. So actually Jess completely trumps me. When I changed to this purple flowers photo, I just did it because I really love the photo, but I didn't put effort into editing and making it fit. I could have lightened the edges and faded into the main photo. I could have put script across the bottom with my normal font that I use. There's lots of things I could have done to tie in a beautiful photo, which doesn't happen to be blue and white, in with my profile picture. I could have even overlaid this lace, or you could get someone to do it quite easily over the bottom to tie it in that way. Let's have a look at a couple of the other girls. So Mariah is she's currently still studying with us, and she's using the cover photo that we provide students to use so that they can show prospective clients that they are actually studying, even though there's no qualification on their wall, and that you can trust to go to them for your nails. Now with her profile picture, one thing that you really want to make sure with profile pictures is that they are easily recognizable in thumbnail form, because you're almost never going to see it this big. You're usually going to see it this big. And I will talk about using nails as photos in a second, but I do think that as far as choosing a profile picture goes, this is a really good one for a couple of reasons. First of all, in tiny thumbnail size, it's quite distinctive because the nails are dark, so they contrast against the rest of the picture, and they follow, like, they're a little semicircle. That's an easily recognizable shape for the human eye, so even though we know that that's just where they land, it makes it a really good, compelling thumbnail, and that's what you're after. She's also chosen a photo which is quite light, like the cover photo is. She could do slightly better if the nails were photographed on a background the same tone as the cover photo, but they work pretty well together. Now, Gigi is also using one of our cover photos. She's chosen a slightly different one. I feel like they go really well together, but I'm not entirely sure why, because they are quite different, but to me it looks nice, it looks appealing. But that profile picture is good because the picture is good. However, in thumbnail, I think that Gigi could possibly choose a better profile picture that would be more easily recognizable. If we have a look at Jess's profile picture in thumbnail form, like here, if you knew, like if you watch Jess's content fairly regularly, you could know immediately that that's Jess. And humans are really visual. They will recognize and work on this profile picture before they read the name. So you can tell that that's Jess. With Mariah, you can see and you can tell that's Mariah. With our academy, you can see the little gold M, and we never change our profile picture. That's another thing that's quite important, is keeping it the same so that it's consistently identifiable. Sandy's is herself, but because if you look at her in thumbnail, that pop of blue again makes her really recognizable. So there are a couple of things that I would caution against. One of them is using your own picture as as a profile picture or a cover photo, and one is using nails. And I know that Sandy will have a good humor about this. I actually really like Sandy's use of her profile picture because it's a dynamic picture and fits really well with profile picture like tips and guidelines. But people form first impressions on how you look, and while I know and love Sandy, other people will look at your picture and form an opinion based on the picture of you, whereas you actually want them to form an opinion of your brand. So sometimes you want to leave out the picture of yourself so that their first impression is of your brand, and then once they know and trust your brand, it doesn't matter so much who you are. And I mean, it's fickle, but so are humans. That's how we operate. The other thing with having nails as a cover photo or profile photo is that you are giving yourself one chance to impress the person that just clicked onto your page. People generally click onto a page for 3 seconds on average before they form the opinion that will mean they either stay there or move on. So if you have nails as your cover photo, and Sandy is by no means the only person to do this, I've definitely done it in the past before I knew better, you're giving them only one chance to see one type of your work. So if someone likes blue nails, round nails, sparkly nails, then this might be the jam for them. But if they like hand-painted nail art, or maybe they like French, or maybe they hate glitter, or maybe they hate blue nails, you are helping them form an unfair opinion of your brand by giving them just one chance to look at your work. What you want is to give them a feeling with that profile photo and cover photo, like Jess has done on her page, where you get an immediate feeling, and then you're going to click and scroll through the rest of someone's work to see what else it's like or what else they are capable of. So I don't normally recommend having your own work as the one photo that people get to see. Okay, so we've got an online course coming out very soon that will go into Facebook pages really in depth, but there's just a couple of other things that I want to talk to you about in this quick video. So the next is your about page. So if we click on, I'll just start with Jess again. If we click onto her about page, she's really clearly got her address, so if you're anywhere near Natia, then you should definitely book in and go and see her. She's got her contact details really clear. She's using the map really well. She's got all of the details here. Her about section, like the bit where you actually talk about yourself, says freelance makeup artist, weddings, special occasion, balls and formals, nail technician, gel polish, manicures, hand painted nail art. That's pretty good. The only thing I would do is capitalize that P, because it's really, really important to have a consistent representation of your brand, and little things like missed capitals can look a little bit sloppy. Jess is pretty well laid out, but you want to be super strict with yourself. With Mariah, if we have a look at her about page, and she is up on the North Shore of Auckland, so you can get in touch with Mariah if you want an appointment with her. We're missing quite a lot of information, so what I would suggest for Mariah is to go through when you click edit and you have that about section, fill as much of it as possible. If we have a look at Gigi's one, she's in Ellerslie. If you want to book in with her, she's got all her contact details really nice and clean. She has her Instagram page there, a little bit about her. So my name is Geraldine. I will welcome you in my nail salon in my house. You will enjoy a delightful moment in a clean and welcoming environment. Enjoy a nice cup of tea and free Wi-Fi while getting serviced. So there's just one little spelling mistake here and a couple of minor grammatical errors, so it doesn't hurt to have someone read through and make sure that what you're writing reads the same way that it comes out of your head. It just so that people are getting the right first impression. And if we have a look at Sandy's about page, again, like Mariah, just a really small amount of information, so I would go through and fill in as many pockets of information as you can. If I show you mine, there's so much more information, and this helps with not only people when they click onto your page, but also it helps Facebook. So if Facebook is looking to recommend other pages to people, so when you're scrolling through Facebook and it says like, you might also like this, they are searching over 100,000 different things to select which pages they show. And the more things you give them, the more likely they are to promote your page as a page that someone might like to follow. The other thing as well is that, it's not perfect by any means, but my little about section has a lot of personality in it. So instead of saying, I am a nail artist and I want to do your nails and I do gel polish and blah, 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 it says nail artist, perfectionist, glitter freak, chocoholic, award winner, entrepreneur, little bit nuts, pretty good at nails. Text this number for an appointment. So it's a little bit more personality, and it goes back to what I was saying about Jess, how you look at her brand and you know immediately who she is, and that's what this is. It's telling people who I am so that I attract the right kind of clients. And then my story, which I think Gigi was the only one to fill this section out of the other girls, is completely different. So don't just copy and paste that information over. It'll be pretty similar on the Academy page, where we've filled out as much information as possible so that Facebook knows who to refer our page to. The other thing with the Academy page is it's had a new rollout where Facebook is allowing pages just a few at a time to start trialing using videos as their cover photos instead. So our cover video doesn't necessarily tie in with the feeling of the page. We could definitely put more work into creating a video that fits perfectly, but when we got the rollout, I just wanted to try it out, so I used a video that we've used previously for something else. Okay, so that's just a couple of little quick tips for each of these pages. I highly recommend that you go and check out Jess Drought, Wished For Nails, which is Mariah, Mighty Nails, which is Gigi, Sandy's Sensational Nails, she's in Pakuranga in Auckland, and feel free to check mine out as well if you like. So that's only the briefest of introductions to the thousands of marketing tips and tricks I could give you, but I hope it gave you a couple of ideas. There are courses and blogs and Pinterest boards and YouTube videos and all sorts of ways to learn this for yourself. I just wish someone had told me almost a decade ago to set some time aside for it. Here at Monaco Nail Academy, we offer beginner level classes for aspiring nail technicians. The Foundation Certificate in Nail Technology is a 16-day comprehensive nail technology class that covers everything that you need to know about being a nail technician. For $3,499 or 6 monthly payments of $649, you'll not only get the 4 modules of in-class training, but access to our online interactive workbook, our student Facebook group, which has live videos every week to help you get your way through your qualification, and support from our educators 7 days a week. If you sign up to the Foundation Certificate in Nail Technology before the 28th of July for completion anytime before the end of the year, not only will we help you on your journey to becoming a nail tech, but we will also give you a $500 shopping spree across all of our wholesale ranges. Check out the details of our course at www.monaco.ac.nz or give us a call on 09574 5573 if you have any questions.